In this video, we go through Helium 10's profitability calculator that comes with Xray Chrome extension, and it allows sellers to easily see the costs and fees of different products during product research phase. If you want to try it, find a special 10% off below in the description. And this video is hosted by LISETT LEES. She works with different Amazon brands, and today her guest is Barcus Patty from Helium 10. If you like anything in this video, the people or the content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel.
Hi Barcus, it's really nice to have you here today. Could you please introduce yourself first and tell us what you do in Helium 10 and how Helium 10 usually helps Amazon sellers?
Thank you for having me. My name is Barcus Patty. I'm here with Helium 10, brand evangelist, and wear a lot of hats, but essentially what I do is a lot of external content like this. I do a lot of internal and external training for customers as well. And today we're going to talk about Profitability Calculator specifically, but if you don't know what Helium 10 is a suite of tools for brands that are selling on Amazon. Everything from product research, keyword research, listing optimization, sponsored ad platform on Amazon. We have inventory management, alerts platform. We also have Alta by Helium 10, which is a financing tool to help with cash flow. So, and there's tons of other tools as well. We're constantly coming out with new ones. I myself have a hard time keeping up with us.
I guess that's a positive thing that you're developing tools so quickly, because Amazon sellers, you can always be a couple of steps ahead of Amazon sellers. So you already know what Amazon sellers need, and then you can develop accordingly.
we try, we definitely try.
Okay, nice. So today we will talk about different costs related to selling on Amazon and how to really calculate what would be the profit margin of the product as well. So to start off, what are the main, let's say, fee categories or cost categories sellers have to consider when they think about launching a product on Amazon?
There's more than just how much is the product going to cost per unit. A big topic these days is also shipping, not just the shipping cost, but also the time. Pandemic that has affected, the entire world. It's also really propped up e-commerce. So more businesses are starting to sell on platforms like Amazon all over the world. So that it's increased delays, but also shipping just in general has been severely affected. So you've got to think about both of those at the same time when you start thinking about shipping time, like shipping costs, because there's also, you can get it quicker if it's in a certain country. So if you're going to sell on Amazon.com, and if it's being manufactured in China, there's certain tariffs per country that the U.S. imposes. So, and most countries operate this way. If you want to bring any goods to a country to sell, you have to pay customs. It's basically a tax. So let's say you want to bring in a certain type of product into sell on Amazon into the U.S. Well, if it might be different categories cost more money based on weight and type of materials, you have to think about that. So, textiles are going to cost less than, let's say, probably electronics or anything that has a lot of metal in it. So you also got to think about, as far as shipping, there's a lot of fees associated with it. If you hire somebody if you hire essentially a broker or a freight forwarder to help you with those types of things, there's always cost when you have to hire somebody to help you with that. And that can be very beneficial though, because if you've never imported a product from any country into the United States, there's a lot of things that you got to learn about really quickly. So if you have the budget, it's something to think about as far as essentially hiring a broker. You also have to think about your if it's a perishable product, if you're going to sell any type of food or supplement or anything like that, eventually it's going to expire. And if Amazon knows your expiration date because you put it in your listing, if you don't remove those products after they're expired, Amazon will dispose of them for you if you don't take any action, and then it'll charge you for that as well. But those are some kind of big things. But I want to talk a little bit about the smaller things that really can kind of eat the cost away. So what I'd like to do is share my screen and kind of show you how, if you're looking to sell a certain type of product, how you can use Helium 10, and we have our profitability calculator, and kind of walk through and kind of, you can start to kind of map out how much is a product going to cost, because it might say it's only $1 per unit, but it could also add up quite exponentially if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, okay, sure. Let's go ahead and see how the tool works and what's the breakdown of the costs.
I'm just on Amazon.com and I just typed a search for a dog leash. Let's say I'm a dog lover and I want to sell a dog leash because I can't find a dog leash that fits my dog, that my dog loves, that I love. So like I'm trying to make a unique product, but I'm also trying to understand more of the market here. Let's just take a look at one of the best sellers here. Let's just take this one right here, the Tug 360. Because it's got 49,000 reviews. I'm assuming that people like to buy this product. We can see right here that they've got multiple colors and multiple sizes. So they're trying to appeal to a wide range of dog lovers. If you have the Helium 10 Chrome extension installed, you can just click on it in your Chrome browser and we can go to Profitability Calculator. This is going to start to calculate some fees based on this specific product right here, based on the white medium size. And most of this won't change throughout if we go to small, large, tiny, and different colors. But it could change depending on the type of product. If your product is bigger, let's say you're selling custom furniture and it's a tiny end table to something else, and these could change quite drastically. So right here, we're pulling in the dimensions. And this is important because Amazon will charge you based on how big the box is. So it's important to understand that there's different size and weight fees associated with this product. So you can have a really big box, but if it's lightweight, you might not be charged so much for a weight, but you'll still get hit for a size fee. So we can see that this product is, about 8 inches by 5.5 by almost 2 inches. It's kind of small, less than a pound. The outbound shipping weight is 2 pounds. So what that means is basically the packaging included with this product is roughly 2 pounds. And Amazon size tier is a large standard. So from here, you can look at the price, $17.99, estimated time in storage, the estimated manufacturing cost, and estimated freight cost. Don't look at estimated freight cost because this is wildly changing like every 3 months. So don't take that as the gospel. If you see it's an estimated freight cost of $200, that's not right. That's just a number we put in there a long time ago. Now, again, like everything's drastically changed with shipping times and shipping speeds and shipping costs, that it's just, you can go in here and change this number, this value. So let's say I've actually talked to a couple of manufacturers in China, and I've gotten a quote of, if I want 1,000 of these units, it's probably going to cost at least $1,000 to get per cubic meter. So now our unit freight cost jumped up from 26 cents to $1. You've got storage fees because Amazon will charge you per product how long it's inside their warehouses. You have to pay them to house your products. And then you also have an FBA fee. So and they're a little bit different. For most products, they're relatively the same, the FBA. But if you get into clothes, if you get into batteries, if you get into products that are deemed dangerous by Amazon, then it's going to cost more. And then you have a referral fee as well. So right here, really quickly, Amazon is going to charge you to hold that product. They're going to charge you to ship that product. They're also going to charge you to sell that product. So that's 3 charges right there on top of this product that might cost $3.50 to manufacture. And then from here, and every time you see a white box here, you can change these values. But you also have other costs in here. So maybe there's some additional cost, and we put that in there because it's not uncommon to maybe have an additional cost to the manufacturer. Maybe you had an inspection, which you should have for every shipment. That's a whole other conversation. But let's say you had an inspection where you had a third-party company come into the manufacturer and say, hey, look, we want to make sure the quality here is what it says it is. Well, maybe that quality is not up to speed and the inspection fails and the manufacturer has to reproduce 50% of the inventory. Well, maybe that, so you can put in the cost of the inspection right here. So let's say that inspection, let's just say it costs $250, not 250%, $250. Let's take this out. There we go. So right here, we're taking all this information and calculating it down here. What we're telling you is you can probably expect a net profit after all of these fees to be about $6.50. Now, this isn't other business related fees. This isn't taking taxes into consideration. And what's great about this is that you can play with these numbers. So again, let's say I'm selling just a really tiny, see, that's $6.49. Let's go to the tiny one and see if that changes much. It might not change much at all because it's probably cheaper for them to have the same box and packaging. But here's what's interesting here is the smaller dog leash. It's a half a pound. The box and the packaging are smaller. It's 14 ounces instead of 2 pounds. So it's half the size. It still hits that large standard size tier. They're selling it for $3 less. Manufacturing cost is a little bit different. What we had to have down here is you still have less profit with this product too. Maybe about 50 cents, but still there's less product. There's less profit. But you can see how that's adjusted just by the size. And you can see really quickly, let's just change this by $1. If I can sell it for instead of $15.99 instead of $14.99, my profit jumps to over 40%, which is really where you want to be. Like the golden standard is really for any type of product. There's outliers, of course, but like 40% is really where you want to be. 30% doesn't cut it anymore. You really want to be 40, 50% if you can. That's net fees. So this is good for product research. This is good for product research because you might say, hey, look, I can't spend all this money to only make $6 a unit. Maybe this isn't the type of dog leash I want to get into. So maybe I have a big dog as an example. A Great Dane, he weighs 125 pounds. Dog leash, large dogs. It's a large dog. It's probably more material. It's probably going to cost more. That's probably where I want to go anyway. That's what I'm looking for. And you can also use the Chrome extension to do this really quickly. Of course, we can scroll through here, kind of find what we're looking for. But Xray will show a lot of metrics, a lot of data for everything that's on page 1 right here. So let's say I want to sort this by price. I want to have a high-end dog leash. I'm willing to spend money to have a very nice, well-made dog leash. It's going to last long. So then right here, it looks like the top of this is about $25,000, $30,000. It's okay to go down that route, but you want to do more research because, cool, I want to be at $30. They only do $26,000 a month. The listing that I just showed y'all, they do an estimated $786,000 a year. There's obviously more metrics involved there. Price point is obviously one of those as well. So you also want to take that into consideration. Are you willing to, and let's just show this as an example. Are you willing to be the high-end premium and know that you're going to make less sales, but I have to make this product. I'm too passionate about it. I have to make this product and I have to sell it at a premium. So let's run the profitability calculator again. So we just used it on arguably the most popular dog leash on Amazon. This is one of the more expensive ones. So again, dimensions are pretty much the same, 1.5 pounds, 3 pounds. That's pretty much in standard for the first example in the tug dog leash. Large standard size, our price is $30.99. All this is pretty much stays the same. We've got more of a manufacturing cost. The manufacturing cost almost doubles. The first one was about $3.60. This is an estimated $6.20 US dollars. Unit freight cost a little bit higher. You've got your storage fees. Everything kind of here is pretty much always based on these dimensions here, your price and your dimensions and shipping, all that. But my profit is $13 or $14 per unit. So if that's where you need to be as far as a profit, you need to figure out like, how else can I, if I want to come in here, I don't want to do just $25,000 a month. And you're not going to come in and do $25,000 a month immediately, because you have these guys that have been here. They've got 1,200 reviews. They've been here for a while. They have that sales velocity. They have good metrics within Amazon. You're not going to immediately knock them out the gate. So that's where, with product research, you really start to understand all these fees associated with this product. Yeah, it might say that this product is only like $2 on Alibaba. When you start to look at it, it ends up being about $8 after everything. That's basically from your manufacturer into Amazon's inventory, into their warehouse.
What do you think, or in your experience, what are the costs that are usually the easiest to optimize or get more lower than perhaps initially they could be?
If we're talking about the product itself, then what you can do is look here, and if we scroll over here, we're going to look at a couple of things. Here's what I want to get to, is this. We want to look at the dimensions and the weight and the size tier. If we look really quickly, to kind of scroll through here, everything is in the large standard size. Mostly everything is in large standard size. You got one product on page 1 that's a small standard size. So the dimensions and the weight are all very similar. This product, all of these products are probably under 2 pounds. So, like, maybe can you manufacture a dog leash that can drop down in a size tier? That can save you a little bit of money there. Maybe you are wanting to, maybe your dog is just a tiny little poodle, just a tiny dog, and maybe it weighs a pound itself, a couple pounds, and you're just looking to manufacture the best dog collar or dog leash for that type of product, like a tiny pet. Maybe getting your product under, let's take a look at this one. So the large standard size is still there, but the weight of this product is only half a pound. And you can also too, like if you have an Amazon Seller Central account, you can go inside Seller Central and they'll show you all the metrics. They'll show you the different size tiers, and kind of they have it broke down more of a granular form. This just makes it really easy to look at these things. So the size tier is there, but the outbound shipping weight is 12 ounces. We've got a price of $24. Now the unit manufacturing cost is a little bit smaller too because of the design. So if it's a smaller physical package and weighs less, your freight cost will go down as well. So if you're trying to ship a 40-foot container of pillows, is a lot cheaper to ship than if you're sending in a bunch of Bluetooth speakers. It just weighs a lot less. So that's something to think about too. Like if you're trying to redesign something, or if you're trying to find that best dog leash, look at the weight of it as well. Look at the packaging. Like this one is just, you should be able to fit this in a very tiny package, considering it's essentially a rope. So all of a sudden your profit on this product is 50% versus we were looking at 30 and 40% earlier. They're also selling it for about $24. So when you start to do product research, the easiest things to manipulate is the weight and the size. But you also want to think about the size. Like when you start to get quotes from manufacturers, find out how big that box that it's going to be in, and like the dimensions, the actual dimensions of that box, or they can give you an estimate, but also an estimated weight of that as well, because that's where Amazon is going to decide what to charge, because you don't want to make a mistake with packaging and then be pushed into a different size tier, and that might be an extra. It might be an extra just a couple of pennies, or it might be an extra couple of dollars, depending on the size of the product. But that's just money that is just being thrown away, essentially.
Okay, and playing around with this calculator seems pretty cool, and it gives like a lot of valuable information really clearly for the sellers and for the people who are looking to start selling on Amazon. So is using this calculator free for everybody, or does it come with any of Helium 10 packages? And also, does it work on different marketplaces?
We have a free plan. We also have a starter package. So you have basically those two have limitations on certain things. So for you've got the $97 a month plan, the Platinum plan is the most popular one. You have unlimited searches every month with our Chrome extension. So if you're not convinced on, hey, I'm ready to drop $97 a month on Helium 10, you can sign up for a free account. So you get 50 searches a month with Xray. So basically, every time that you click Xray and it pulls those results, you can do that 50 times. And that's the same with the Profitability Calculator. So, and then with the starter plan, that it's unlimited as well. And anytime you have a question for Helium 10, if you see this little box right here, this little icon, we have 24/7, like we have all day, every day chat support. So you can go in there and ask them a question, and really an amazing team. They work, they're obviously rotating in shifts and stuff. So always ask them a question at any time, even if you're not a customer, you can just come in and ask a question.
Thank you very much, Barcus, for showing how the tool works and how sellers can really play around with different costs and different product ideas. And it's definitely really helpful during the product research phase. So I wanted to ask you, you are an Amazon seller yourself. So I wanted to ask, what kind of tips would you give to Amazon sellers to have like a better overall overview of their financial part of the business? Because we know it tends to be one of the most difficult parts of running an Amazon business, because a lot of sellers haven't been entrepreneurs before, and really, there are so many different details. So what are some of your go-to tips?
I think every business struggles with inventory management in some degree or another. So if that's something that you struggle with, like don't be ashamed. Like, it happens to every business. So we one of our tools inside Helium 10 is inventory management. You can put your products in there. You can actually put your suppliers in there and send purchase orders from Helium 10 right to your suppliers. You can also, it'll also start tracking when you should start looking at placing an order. And then you'll also get an alert like, hey, you need to place an order now. Like you're going to run out of inventory, because you're going to put in things like it's going to take 60 days for this product. It might only take 7 days for this product because you manufacture it in the US and you sell on Amazon.com. So there's a lot of variables to input there as well. Cash flow too. If you're bootstrapping, if you're on a budget, if you don't have a ton of capital behind you, then sometimes financing can be beneficial to you. We also have a tool called Alta, which you can basically apply for credit for to help run your business, to purchase inventory. But I think that a lot of things you want to, I guess, as far as cash flows, if you're new to this, especially if you've never imported a product before, or you have a new supplier, don't be afraid to ask a million questions. Like, hey, what's this? How much is this going to cost? How long will it take to get? The more information that you have, the better that you can make business decisions, right? So asking those questions about the products, and also understanding the taxes and tariffs and customs and duties and all that. That if you're manufacturing, if you're going to sell in the United States, or if I was going to sell products in Australia, I'd have to pay Australia certain fees and duties and taxes for my business to bring products there to sell. Because part of that process is they want to make sure that these products are safe for their people. So you want to make sure, you want to understand, I'm going to sell this dog leash. What type of, are there restrictions on these types of products? Because you're going to have to disclose especially if it's some sort of supplement, a beauty product, any type of, if you're selling food or of any sort, you're going to have to disclose that. You have to disclose the ingredients as well. And those are things to think about, because I've heard horror stories about people's inventory being held up at customs for months because they didn't have the right paperwork. Now, and that goes back to talking to your supplier. If you have a good relationship with your supplier will know all the proper documentation you need to get your product from China, as an example, and into Amazon's warehouses past, go through US customs properly and get into Amazon warehouses safely as well.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about this as well. And I really appreciate you coming here today and sharing how to use the tool as well. So we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much again. Appreciate it.
I hope this video helped you to understand Helium 10's profitability calculator better. And if you want to sign up for Helium 10, check out the link below, and also for the 10% off discount. And now I would like to recommend you to watch other video which we recently recorded with Helium 10 about Amazon product ranking in 2021.